everybody, welcome to Global Wheelchair Athletics Show. We are the YouTube channel that brings you information about wheelchair racing around the globe and any kind of related information to wheelchair athletics. We are super excited. This is our first episode and we get going right away. There's lots that happened already in January, and actually the first race series that we want to look at is the Summer Down Under series in Australia. We had some great results there, and let's just kind of look at what we got there. In the first race in Canberra, we had the women's. The 100 meter was won, and the 200 meter also by Alt Connell. She pushed a 16:61 in the 100 meters and a 28:72. So those are already really good, fast times. Now, I've been coaching for 10 years and I haven't seen her on the scene very much. I have heard about her and it looks like she's making some sort of a comeback, and then she's going to give the other T54 runners or sprinters a real run. In the 400 meter, we saw Jessica Frotton from Canada pushing a new Canadian record in 56:78. That was really exciting for her, and I think she's on a real good track there. In the 800 meter, I think that was the highlight of the whole series. We had Madison De Rosario pushing a new world record in 1:45:53. The previous world record was held by Chelsea McClammer. She did it in Arbonne in Switzerland. She's an American athlete. But having Madison now pushing that time down under that early shows she is in real good shape already. On the men's side, we saw Sam Carter taking the 100, 200 and 400 meters. He posted 14:31 for the 100, 25:54 for the 200 and 47.18. There were some rumors that Sam might retire and not train full-time anymore. But looking at those times, I think he's still full-time at it. The 800 and 1500 meters were won by Jake Lappin in 1:34:60 and 3:03:74. Pretty good times already for the Australian that early on in the season. The 5000 meter was won by Watanabe of Japan in 10:44:54. According to the results, he was pushing this pretty much on his own, so not too bad for not having any help along the way. The athletes then moved on to Sydney and raced at the former Olympic Stadium in Sydney, and we saw in the women's side Angie Bullard winning the 100 meter in 17:69. Angie is a multiple Paralympic medal winner, and she's still going strong. The 200 meter and 400 meter again were won by Alt Connell. She's a T54 athlete, and as I said, with a 54:28 in the 400 meter, that's really fast. She's gonna give all the other athletes a real good run if she keeps that pace up. In the men's, we saw again the sprints won by Sam Carter, especially his 200 meters, 25.30. Is a really good time. It was 0.14 seconds faster than he was down in Canberra. So I think we can see some big things from Sam Carter coming this year as well. The series then finished off with a 10K road race, which was won by Madison De Rosario for the women's, followed by Alyssa O'Connell and Christy Dawes. On the men's side, we saw Suzuki Tomoki beating the two Australians, Jake Lappin and Kurt Fernley. I'm sure that Suzuki gave them a really good run because I know Kurt always really wants to win that race. We also, on January 25th, had the Dubai Marathon. On the male side, Marcel Hug of Switzerland won the race in 1:24:09. Did you see how he almost crashed with one of the leading cars? We posted a little video on our Facebook page, and I just showed him how he had to slalom through it. So still, most of the race he ran on, he pushed on himself and was at 1:24:09. That's pretty impressive. He was followed by Hiroyuki Yamamoto of Japan in 1:28:31 and Hitoki Nishida of Japan in 1:30.14. On the women's side, fellow Swiss Sandra Graf won the race in 1:41.03, followed by Jade Hall of Great Britain in 1:43.42 and Margaret van der Broek in 1:54.15. The Dubai Marathon is starting to get more and more popular amongst the wheelchair athletes. Fellow Canadian Josh Cassidy came in at 6th place. It's really early still in the season, but the temperatures of Dubai, of course, make it a more kind of a attractive race for those athletes to get an early start in their marathon season. That's it for our race report. If you have any results you'd like us to put out to the community, please send them to us. If you have any races coming up you'd like us to advertise for, please send them along and we will post them on our Facebook and on our YouTube channels. So let's just talk a little bit about some training tips of this week. A lot of the athletes, because of winter, are doing roller training. Roller training can be pretty boring at times, but you might want to switch it up with some interval training. We posted some videos of our GWA athletes doing roller training. We also did a VO2 max test. The VO2 max test allowed us to figure out at what kind of intensities the athlete should be training at. Because you can imagine, you don't want to just go full out all the time. You have to pace yourselves and find that right intensity in order to get the most benefits out of your roller training. One of the videos we posted on our Facebook page was a transfer. Of course, there's different ways of getting in and out of your racing chair, but because it's a little higher on the roller, you might have to come up with your own technique. So go on our Facebook page and watch GWA Ben Brown transferring into his chair. He might give you some ideas. We are also right now 2 times a week, we're on the track. We're training there. We're working on acceleration and top speed. This is a good time to work on your acceleration. Our distances are anywhere from 20 meters to 40 meters. You really want to focus on your quick hands and powerful starts. In your top speed sessions, we're doing flying 30 meters. So coming around the curve and then really trying to get up to your top speed is important. Of course, you want to adjust it to your phases, how many sprints you're doing. As we're getting closer to the season, those sprints will get longer and longer. And of course, once we get out onto the outdoor track, we can then be a lot more specific. If you have any kind of questions on training, please send us our comment below. We will do our best to answer those questions. So for next show, we want to go and we'll be looking at the Iowa's World Championships that are coming up in February. There's also some other races, the Sharjah races coming up in February. So lots of the athletes will be in the UAE and getting an early start on the season. It'll be interesting to analyze some of those races. Also, we'll be going to look at some gloves. What are the best gloves choices? There's more and more 3D printed gloves coming out, and it's really exciting. I think it's really gonna change the landscape of wheelchair racing. But of course, there's also soft gloves, which might be the right choice for you as a beginner. Figuring out what works best for you is going to be key. So we're going to give you some of the different gloves and some of our insights and experiences that we had with those different gloves. Please send us any kind of questions or any topics you'd like us to cover at the GWA show. Our idea or our mission is to educate people, not just wheelchair racers, but anybody out there. We want to make wheelchair athletics cool, and we want to get the word out of there. Until next time, my name is Ueli Albert, and I'm the head coach and director of Global Wheelchair Athletics, and I'm super happy to have you here. Please tune in again.